when a native English speaker tells you that they took a dig at someone, they are not talking about gardening. Did I say take a dig? Yeah. To take a dig. Other ways to say it, to take a swipe or to take aim. Now, they all mean the exact same thing. And if you already know what it means, would you like to hit that like button? Hi there, and welcome to English Decoded. I'm NASLTA certified with 15 years of international experience. So take a dig, take a swipe, take aim. These all mean the same thing: to insult someone, to criticize someone, but it is usually done in a very clever, in a very indirect way. Take a dig, take a swipe, take aim. And that is exactly what Brooklyn Beckham did. Now, if you are an ESL learner, you are stuck at B2, or you are struggling in C1 and you learn these phrases, I guarantee that by next week you will forget them. But in context, in the real world, trust me, you are not only going to remember them, but you are going to use them. So we're going to play the clip of Brooklyn Beckham taking a dig, taking a swipe, taking aim at his family. And when you learn these words, these phrases, just imagine Brooklyn Beckham and go back to that video. Let's play the clip.
You're probably wondering why I'm watching the FIFA World Cup 2026 from home. It's a long story. You're probably wondering why I'm watching the FIFA World Cup 2026 from home. It's a long story.
Right? So you saw this for yourself. It all started with a new World Cup DoorDash commercial. And Brooklyn is sitting on a sofa. He looks directly at the camera and he says, "You're probably wondering why I'm watching the FIFA World Cup from home." Well, we all know why, because just like Harry and Meghan, you threw your family under the bus. But we'll talk about Harry and Meghan in another episode. So then Brooklyn laughs and he throws down a handful of World Cup tickets and says, "It's a long story. It's complicated. More soon." Now, did you notice that part? It's a long story. What kind of tone would you say that was? How's your family doing? It's a long story. This is cold sarcasm. You know, his family are at odds, they are estranged. But hey, Brooklyn Beckham is treating the family heartbreak, his sister who is struggling with the loss of a brother. Well, he's treating it like a Hollywood movie trailer. Let's be honest. The guy who said that the Beckham family is a brand, well, he is literally monetizing. Yeah, that's a good word, right? He's making money off them. He's monetizing his family feud. Why? For a paycheck, for money, for a paycheck. But it gets deeper. He didn't just take a swipe at his parents in the ad. He didn't just take a dig at them. No, he has completely cut them off. Cut them off. Can you hear how intense and final that is? He cut them off. So when Brooklyn celebrated his birthday, David shared an affectionate throwback photo of his son, right? And a throwback photo would be a photo from the past, throwback photo. And he tried to tag his eldest son. I'm sure most of you out there using social media already know what tag is, right? So he tried to tag Brooklyn, but oops, he couldn't. Why? Because Brooklyn had completely blocked them. David, Victoria, all of the kids, they had been blocked by Brooklyn on social media. And if you caught that grammar structure, let me know in the comments. In fact, it was so bad that Brooklyn's lawyers sent an official letter saying that they are not to contact him. He is only to be contacted through his lawyers, through his legal representatives. Now, what is happening in the Peltz Beckham home in Los Angeles? Well, there is silence, but we don't just say silence when we want to show the intensity. We can say stony silence, like a stone, right? A stone, you're not going to hear a word from it. Stony silence. Now, in this entire story, did you notice the hypocrisy, the contradiction, how Brooklyn Beckham is playing games? And if you did, well, then you really do understand nuance and advanced English. And if you'd like to put your thoughts into the comments, that would be fantastic. It is a safe place where people can comment and communicate and interact. So let me break it down for you. Brooklyn walked away from his family and he walked straight into the Peltz family, but he said his reason was because he hates Brand Beckham and he wants privacy. He said that his parents stage public stunts for the cameras. Nothing in his family is real. That's what he said. And have you watched our episode on when Harper tried to deliver a letter to Brooklyn's house? And he said, oh, that was staged as well. It was another publicity stunt. It was for the paparazzi. But the only person who's being hypocritical here, in my opinion, is Brooklyn Beckham, because he says he wants to escape the fake media circus, of his parents' lives. Yet, he is the one using his parents' fame for the DoorDash commercial, because the only reason we all know that he is not at the World Cup with his father, who is the most important person at the FIFA World Cup, is because he said he did not want to have anything to do with his father. David Beckham didn't say he doesn't want to have anything to do with Brooklyn. It was the other way around. But he's kind of turning this, manipulating it into a story about, oh, it's a long story. Yeah, when it's the truth that you can't explain, I guess you would say it's a long story. And when you say, oh, it's a long story, it's almost like you are blaming the other party. But he used the World Cup, he used his father's association with it, and he used the family drama to get a paycheck from DoorDash. So he wants to drop the Beckham family, but hey, he won't drop the name because the name is the only way that he can make some money. Now, do you remember all the phrases that we went through today? Because there were quite a few and they were really good. And I would like you to try to use them to retell this exact story. Grab your phone if you've got an iPad or your computer or any tablet. If you want to go to ChatGPT, create the story and ask ChatGPT to assess you. I fully understand not everyone has the luxury, the time, or the money to have continuous English lessons, but that doesn't mean that you cannot progress. So the phrases I would like you to use in your answer is take a dig, he took a dig, he took a swipe, take a swipe, take aim, he took aim. That means he insulted them, he criticized them. And then we've got our other phrases, which were David tried to tag him, but they were blocked. What else do we have? Oh, I used a really nice phrase. I said that it was hypocrisy. And you can explain in your answer why this is hypocrisy on Brooklyn Beckham's part. You want a clue? I just told you about it, but I'm happy to give you another clue. He does not want to be part of the Beckham family, but he wants to use their name for, you got it, a paycheck. If you enjoyed this episode, if you feel like it has helped you to discuss real-world English using real advanced vocabulary, the kind of vocabulary that native speakers like myself use all the time, then do take a moment to hit like, subscribe. If you can hype me at all, please do so. Hit the notification bell because we deliver real world English to you. I don't just provide you with vocabulary lists that say, instead of this, say that, because that does not help you. You need to be able to use it in the real world and real stories. So the next time you think of Brooklyn Beckham and the Brooklyn Beckham story, I am willing to bet that the words that pop into your mind are hypocrisy. Yes, absolutely. And he's monetizing his family feud, and he took a swipe at his family, and he took a dig at them, and he took aim at them. Wasn't that wonderful? You've actually learned 5 really advanced, really valuable, high frequency phrases that you can now go off and use in the real world. I will see you in the next one. I'm Nas. This is English Decoded. It is ciao for now.